everyone, welcome to the first ever Teen Talk Show in the year 2024. And with that, I'd like to wish you a very happy new year. So, welcome to our talk show. I'll be a regular host, Eniola, and today we'll be talking about a topic which sparks up a lot of debate. So it's about money, finances. The topic is finances. How does it affect children? And with that, I'd like to introduce you to our guest for today's talk show. So please welcome Inioluwa. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Eniola, for having me once again.
And please welcome Temilade.
Thank you, Eniola. I'm so glad to be here again.
So you know how this works. Inioluwa, you go first and tell us your point about finances, how it affects children when the parents are struggling. And then Temilade, you give us your point. Then we'll have our summarizing points. So Inioluwa, off you go.
Thank you very much. Like we all know, children are one of the most delicate victims of any situation we might find ourselves in. Take, for example, the current economic crisis in the nation is eating every single family, eating every sphere of the economy. It's eating the educational sector, it's eating the food sector, even health sector. And children are not left out in this unbearable situation. Psychologically, because of the harsh economic situation, so many parents will have to take on extra jobs, working far more than they should work every day, every week, every month. This makes them psychologically unavailable to the needs of their children, and they may not even be able to pay attention to the parental needs they need to do and the parental care and support they need to give to these children. All what they are just after is making money, and this will make them unavailable for their children. This might end up making the children to do whatever they like in the absence of their parents. It might make them feel left out, it might make them feel lonely, depressed, and even sad most of the time. So we have so many students that are even performing badly in their school.
Yeah, so that was a great point that you mentioned about how children are really neglected if the parents can't provide financially. So Temilade, please give us your points.
Well, for me, the major challenge is actually the psychological impact this thing has on the parents and their family. So imagine having a small family of two, right? But due to the constant rise in prices of things like housing and food, you're unable to provide the basic needs that your children have. So I was doing some research and I was watching like some videos just to check out other areas and all of that, and I kept on seeing so many families. There's this particular term that's been going around called the eat or eat dilemma, which is where most poor families, right, because of the situation, their financial situation, they have to choose between putting on the heater for their houses or providing food for their family. Now, it may seem like a very simple choice, like it's just choose the food or like put on the heater because of the cold weather, but this thing is not actually as simple as you might think, because these people are actually experiencing these problems. Some of them, because they want to provide food for their family, they have to switch off the heater many times in a week, so you end up having to bear with the cold. And if you don't have something like maybe a mattress in your room, you can imagine how worse that's going to be. You're going to be sleeping on the cold hard floor, and when winter comes, it gets even worse. And then if you then choose to eat, like everything is just a circle. If you choose to put on the heater, you risk an empty stomach, and you have to watch your children actually starve, even though it's not really starvation, but it is still starvation. You have to watch them as they are hungry, and you may not be able to give them the basic things that they are requesting for. I watched one particular video of a woman where she was like, she really can't wait for the moment when things changes and she'll be able to have like a job and enough finances, so that when her child is asking for more things like cookies or biscuits, she'll be able to give them without feeling guilty or without having to calculate the cost. So these are the little things, and we see the psychological impact it has on these parents, because someone like that mother now, it's obvious that she's already feeling the burden of insecurity, not just insecurity, but that sense of being a failure, because she cannot provide her child with the basic needs that a child requests for simple things such as food. For some of them, the finances, it's so bad now, you can't afford for childcare support. So instead of them going to job, they have to choose between going to work or staying at home with their kids. If they go to work, who's going to take care of their child? They have to pay for childcare support, and some of them, their money, their wages do not cover that. And if you choose to stay at home, obviously you are losing money. And then the finance, it still spreads to the case of housing. So some of them don't even have houses. Some of them are families of 6 or 4 or more, staying in hotels, living in hotels, and not the whole hotel, just a room in an hotel. I watched so many videos just like that. So many different families, each with their own kind of problems. So I really believe that this thing, all in all, they will all contribute to affecting the parents. No way, as a parent, there's no way you can see that and you'll be happy. All you want to do as a parent is to help your child, to give them the things that they need. That is why, because if you say you want to have a child, you must have already gauged it that, okay, I have the finances for that. But take, for example, a particular woman. She said it that as at the time she had started having her children, they were in a great financial place. She didn't know that down the lane things will go down, that the economy will become something that they cannot meet up to and be so horrible. And so now she's forced to, like I said, heat or eat. Sometimes she put off the heater. Most times she feeds off food banks, which other people give out to them. Just go there, pick some foods, and even while they give them the foods, they still have to ration everything in portions. Maybe, I think she said they eat just once a day, and that once a day might be just some pizza, which they all share with just 4 pieces of biscuits. And if they ask for more, she will not be able to give them. So definitely that kind of person, you can already tell the kind of mental state she is in already. She's going to be feeling bad. She's most likely going to be feeling depressed, feeling weak. I saw so many people crying because they were being chased from hotels to hotels, and there was nothing they could do about it, all because of what the economy is like right now. So I really believe that these effects are just way too much to count on the parents.
Yeah, so it's really important what you mentioned about how all these things are necessities and the heat or eat scheme. So both are really, really necessary. So Iniolua, off you go.
The harsh economic situation is not even just affecting just feeding and healthcare. Even just to get affordable clothing is very difficult for so many people, especially students. Students in the university cannot afford basic materials for their study. They can't afford good clothing, and some of them have to juggle between work and school just to fend for themselves because of they don't have support from their parents. Their parents, on the other hand, is trying to even make up for getting money to be able to fend for themselves, not to talk of sending a child to higher institutions to study. And most of the hostels and apartments around UK's institutions are very, very expensive compared to other universities across the world. According to research, average cost of living in UK is relatively the most expensive in the world. And even university students and high school students face a lot, and they feel the brunt of this great crisis that is rocking the nation. And with this, we can see that even young adults and children feel the brunt of this high cost of living in the United Kingdom. For me personally, I feel children from the age of 0 to 13 cannot manage this economic situation. One reason, they are very vulnerable to the impact it has on the family. Children are not understandable. They don't understand what is going on in the economy, and they cannot relate, they cannot adapt to the economic situation. So the best thing that can happen is for the government to step in to support their parents, because once this affects the children, it can affect them in every aspect, in feeding, their academics, healthcare, and everything. And this is very dangerous and tantamount to the survival of these children. I also believe that older children like teenagers and high school students can still in a way survive and adapt to this situation, because students in high school can take up roles to do work study together. They can work it out anyhow they want to, but they should not depend solely on funding from their parents only because of the financial situation of this country. They should also find a way to support themselves by taking up jobs as they are doing their study. They can also cut down on costs. They can try to eat at less expensive restaurants. They can also find bargains when they try to purchase goods and services. They should also go for products and services with little discounts that can help to cover their budget.
So thank you, Inulua, for that statement. Temilade, off you go.
Yes, I do believe that there's a way we can manage this crisis, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a crisis, a national crisis, right? So for now, based on the research that I did with like mostly BBC videos and like interviews of people that are currently going through this, families that are going through this, you notice that most of them, they put their sources, especially for food, from food banks. Now, those food banks are individually owned. It's people in the community that just maybe had a good heart and decided to start up something like that. However, those individuals, they obviously do not have enough finances to, based on the environment where they are in. So sometimes they even have to make sacrifices. They have to choose between trying to earn money or trying to fund something like that for other people. There's a particular person, he runs a restaurant, right? He runs a restaurant. So what he does is, while he's running his restaurant during the day or during Monday to Friday, he will let customers have the option of paying for someone. So once weekend comes, all the food for anybody that comes during that day is based on what they've already paid for before. So it's not like you're getting charity. It's charity, but at the same time, it's being paid for. But at the end of the day, that kind of person too, lack of funds, we still need help. So the government has to get involved. Until they can find a permanent solution to this crisis, they need to get involved with the food banks. I also believe that if the government is able to partner up with certain individuals, then we can work together to pool resources that will be able to provide people with something better than what they are currently on now.
To caution this, students in high school should just be more understanding and to support their parents by taking on jobs that can support them all through school. This way, it will be easy for both parents and children to be able to survive in this harsh situation. The best health facility that they might want to get, they might not be able to get the best health care services also. Not to talk of the food problem that we are facing right now. So many families cannot afford 3 square meals again, and so many children that they grew up living to eat the best of the best. They can't even continue with that lifestyle, and children are always very funny. They can't understand. Even when parents are even trying to adapt to the harsh economic situation, it's very, very difficult for children to adapt because it's something they are used to. Maybe they are used to good food, good clothing, a comfortable environment, and there is a sudden change. It's always very hard for them to adjust.
Thank you so much both for your insight. They were really, really important. So it just shows how necessary it is to have your finances in order just before you have kids, and especially to the kids as well, to just understand what the parents are actually might be going through. So finances may be a bit difficult.
Hi everybody, I hope the talk show was very interesting and I hope you know how to manage your money more for 2024. In fact, for 2024 we have so many things in plan, such as the Valentine ball happening on the 14th of February. And since you guys know how to manage your money more, how about you buy a gift for your loved ones as well? And in April, we do have Project Uplift 2.0. It's going to be very interesting. We're going to have a lot of conferences, seminars, workshops, as well as some games for the boys and the girls. For the girls, you're going to have some volleyballs activities, and for the boys, footballs. And back from popular demand, we're bringing back this summer the Cultural Heritage Program, where the young people will learn more about their culture, how to get back to their roots, and basically carry out the lineage of their culture back into the future as well. So 2024 is going to be filled with a lot of activities. Back in February, we're going to have the Valentine Ball, and then in April, we're going to have Project Uplift 2.0, and then in the summer, we're going to have the Cultural Heritage Program as well. If you want to know more details, or if you want to provide as well as some information or some advices, please feel free to email us below, and feel free to contact us as well on our telephone number. And I wish everybody a happy new year. Bye.